Hey, let me know if you guys can hear me real quick. Snow equipment's kind of tricky, but let's wait. I'm waiting for the latency here real quick. A little latent, got a little latency going on. Go ahead, if you guys don't mind, leave me a comment in the chat box if you guys can hear me. I'm just want to make sure we're cool. You guys can hear me. Right on. Hey, just a quick little rundown I'm getting ready to do. Just going to wait a couple of minutes for people to chime in. Perfect. Thank you guys. You can hear me. That's awesome. How about those gas prices? We're going to get $5 a gallon here soon here in Tennessee. Let's go, Brandon. Right? Yay. Good job, Brandon. I also saw that half of his Twitter followers, 22 million Twitter followers, are bots. I saw that on Newsmax. I don't know if Newsmax puts out real data, but if it is real, it doesn't surprise me that what 11 million of his Twitter followers are fake bots, probably kind of like his, I don't know, votes. But anyways, so hey guys, I just want to got some quick updates here coming on. So real quick before I get started, most of you guys already know this, but it's getting harder to reach our audience. Probably has something to do with Brandon and Office. But anyways, so we're having a problem reaching the audience. I don't know if the algorithm changed or it's censorship or whatever, but we're always trying to find ways to beat that. I've been telling everybody to subscribe to and hit the bell. If you haven't, subscribe, hit the bell, turn notifications to all. But now it's getting even trickier. You have to like go on your phone and do some settings to where YouTube's gonna update you when we or send your phone a notification. So it's getting ridiculous. So I think the best thing to do, everybody, is just sign up for the Vigilance Elite newsletter. I know that's kind of a pain in the butt, and you're like, oh, you're going to spam me. I don't spam. We spend less than one email a week out on a, on usually we send about 2 emails a month, and that's it. So here's the deal. Sign up for the newsletter and you'll get updates on when the gummy bears are coming back. By the way, we sold a ton of gummy bears in 2 days. First day, I opened it up to Patreon. The patrons bought about half of them within about 5 hours, and then I released the rest to the general public. And you guys took it all down in about 20, the rest of it down in about, man, it wasn't very long. And so anyways, we already have a new shipment coming, should be here soon, and sign up for the newsletter. So here's the deal with the newsletter. I don't ever sign up for newsletters either. I totally get it. But we're going to do, what do they call it? Gated content. So if you sign up for the newsletter, I still have to film these, and there's actually a poll on the community tab. But if I am going to start releasing videos, separate, not Patreon videos, but I'm going to start releasing newsletter only videos. It's not going to happen too often because it takes a lot to create a video with us. But so 2 videos I'm going to do. Most of you guys know I used to do a lot of firearms content, stuff like that on here. I'll probably wind up doing an EDC pocket dump on there. It'll only be sent to those of you that are just subscribed to the newsletter. And then another thing I'm going to do is 5 accessories every man should own. So could be like, not firearms and tactics accessories, just accessories. And then I also think I'm going to do one. I just thought of this the other day, but I get a lot of questions about what do we do? How do we protect ourselves or stay safe when we're traveling outside of the country and we don't have a firearm? I get a lot of questions from women on that. So I'm going to do that video as well. It'll probably be like 5 things that you can think about and do when you're overseas traveling to keep yourself safe, or at least safer. And I'll probably put that out on the newsletter as well. The link to subscribe to the newsletter is in the description right below. So go ahead, please subscribe to the newsletter. The only time we actually send them is when we're releasing a Shawn Ryan show or gummy bears. And a lot of you guys aren't getting notified. So we're trying to help you guys get notified more. So, all right. Anyways, one more thing. For those of you that I want to say I really appreciate everybody's support, but I have to 100% say thank you to all my patrons. I know you guys are all on here, and we'll be doing a live tomorrow on Patreon. How many of you guys remember Headshot Don? Don Bradley, former Green Beret, shot in the head in a road rage incident. Shot in the head during a road rage incident, and Monroe County, Georgia Sheriff's Department arrested him, charged him. It was like 3.5 years, I believe, that he was in the court system. Well, he's good to go, everybody. They dropped all the charges. I think Monroe County Sheriff's Department has another battle coming at him here shortly. At least I hope so. But anyways, for those of you that do remember Headshot Don, he's coming up here soon, actually tomorrow, to meet my son, Sonny, for the first time and visit with me and my wife. He's going to be up here for a little bit. And so we are doing a live Zoom call chat with our patrons. And normally that's a tier 3 benefit, or it's only for tier 3 patrons. That's the highest level. We're opening this one up to everybody because everybody wants to know how Don's doing and the update with the case. And so he's coming on. You guys are going to be able to ask questions if you're on that Zoom call. I'll post the link right after this live. And if you want updates when it comes to Patreon stuff, sign up for that newsletter as well. But anyways, enough of that salesy type stuff. Who's coming up, right, on the Shawn Ryan Show? How do you guys like how the Shawn Ryan Show has been going? I've been diversifying it a little bit. Yes. I'm not going to put that one on Rumble. I'm going to put that one on Patreon. But I did just put an Eli Crane episode on Rumble where we talked a lot of the stuff that happened with the election. And so you don't have to be subscribed to Patreon to see that. If you guys haven't seen that, it's really good, very informative. Head over to Rumble. I probably should have linked to that below, but I wasn't planning on talking about it. But anyways, if you guys watched the Eli Crane episode, he was a Navy SEAL sniper. I'm assuming most of you that probably shouldn't make assumptions, but I'm assuming most of you have already seen that. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's the last Shawn Ryan Show episode. And then unfortunately, it wasn't all YouTube friendly. It sucks to even have to say that. So we put the second half of the episode over on Rumble. And it actually got a little bit of traction. Most of the time when I post on Rumble, it doesn't get any traction, but that one actually did. So if you haven't seen that, head over there and check it out. It's really good. I see a lot of comments about 2,000 Mules. I'm going to be honest. I did not watch 2,000 Mules. You know why I didn't want to watch it? Because that shit will ruin my night. I don't need to watch it because I already know what happened. And we talk about that on that Rumble episode. So I don't need to watch it. I think 2,000 Mules is more for people that are still in denial. But yeah, 22 million bots. Joe Biden has 22 million Twitter followers, and half of those, 11 million of those, are fake bots. Can you believe that shit? Man, talk about an egomaniac. I knew people bought followers on Instagram and YouTube, and I knew a lot of people do that. I never would have thought the president of the United States would be buying bots to follow him. But hey, that's the age we live in, right? Right on. Let's go, Brandon. Anyways, so enough about Brandon for now. But hey, I want to tell you guys about the next Shawn Ryan Show episode that's coming up. We have a guy, Alex Epstein. This sounds kind of whatever. This is way more interesting than it sounds, all right? But he is a fossil fuel philosopher, and what we talk about is the global energy war that we're in. And if you don't realize that we're in an energy war right now, then one, you need to go to the gas station and check out the gas prices. And two, look at the green initiative and what's behind it, who's and how everything's working out. So this guy wrote a book called Fossil Futures, and it's an excellent book. It's already a Amazon bestseller, and it hasn't even been released yet. It doesn't release till May 24th. So here's what's interesting about it. Here's how, one, I can prove to you how good the book is a Chinese, you guys know I love talking about how China's fucking us over, right? So a Chinese publishing company reached out to him because they wanted to put it out in China, and they offered him a hefty sum of money to take out everything that had anything bad to say about China. So what does that tell you? That tells you he's probably on the right track, right? So yes, that's true. He had a Chinese publishing company offer to pay him a substantial amount of money to take out anything derogatory towards the CCP China. So that's how we open it. We also open it. He is the only guy, like normal guy, that's not swimming in $1 million bills to beat cancel culture. The Washington Post did a huge hit piece on him and made him out. They called him a racist. Of course, that's like the new thing, right? If you don't agree with somebody, just call him a racist. That'll work. But so they called him a racist. This guy's like the nicest, like he's like one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And so for the Washington Post to do a hit piece on him, calling him a racist, hey, that's what the left does, though, right? That's what they do. If they don't like what you're saying, they just call you a racist. That's what we do here. So, anyways, he's the only guy to ever beat that didn't have major funding behind him. And basically, he talks about how he beat it, got in front of the whole thing, and it's a phenomenal interview. So then we go into what is the Green New Deal, what is the Green Initiative, and what's behind it all. I don't want to like spoil the whole interview because it's really good. It's coming out. I think it's coming out Thursday, and dude, it's about a 2-hour interview, which is actually short for this show, but phenomenal interview. We talk about. Well, I just told you what we talk about, but what's also interesting is how we're basically talking about renewable energy and solar and wind and how that is unreliable. Not that we're anti-green by any means, but it just isn't going to work. And so we explain why it's not going to work to go 100% green and why we need fossil fuels. We talk about nuclear energy. We talk about hydro energy. But what's interesting about this whole green plan, Green New Deal, Green Initiative, whatever you want to call it, his name's Alex Epstein. Check it out, Alex Epstein. And the name of the book is Fossil Futures. So you can pre-order it on Amazon. I'll post a link below after this live. But so basically we talk all kinds of stuff about China, man. They're just they're doing a great job of taking us over. I will say that. Brandon's just letting them come right in. But lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so we talk about even if the Green Initiative was going to work, and we're talking, you hear this energy independence, which we were already energy independent under the last administration. Now it's a complete fucking disaster. But we talk about how it would look even if the Green Initiative was going to work. And so they keep preaching energy independence. Well, what they're preaching is bullshit. And here's why. I'm going to tell you part of it right now. So who's making all of our solar panels? China. Who's making all of the batteries that we're going to have to get new batteries every 10 years to run those solar panels? China, right? So if China's making our solar panels and China's making the batteries that the solar panels charge to run everything, how the hell are we going to be energy independent when all they have to do is stop the production of the solar panels and stop the production of the batteries? Oh, by the way, who was in place right in time, right before we left Afghanistan to do negotiations with Afghanistan for the lithium mines? China. Who's the one that's taken over Africa and settling Africa? There's a great article, actually. I've been talking about how they're settling Africa for a long time, and I was doing a little research. I found a great piece of research that explains the infrastructure that China's putting into Africa. And what are they securing there? Pfft, lithium mines. Go figure, right? So China's got all the lithium mines in Afghanistan now that we happen to leave there. And I wonder if that was on purpose and somebody got paid off on that. And then the whole Africa thing that nobody's really talking about, them securing all the natural resources there. Like I said, I've been talking about this forever. I'll post that article. They're putting highway systems in there. They're building entire cities. They're building entire cities in Africa, and nobody's talking about it. And the Chinese influence there has gone, I don't think it's even reversible, to be honest with you. So even if the Green Initiative was going to work, we still would not be energy independent because China, who is also, by the way, has upped their coal importation from Russia in order to build the factories to make the solar panels to send to us. You literally cannot make this shit up. So anyway, so that's all coming out this Thursday. It's a phenomenal interview. I want you guys to watch it. Go buy his book, Fossil Futures, and get ready to be enlightened because, you guys know what we do here. We just bring facts, okay? So this is all factual information. And like I said at the beginning of this, just the fact that a Chinese publishing company reached out to Alex and offered him a hefty sum of money to remove any derogatory information that he put out about China, that says it all right there. And the fact that the Washington Post did a hit piece on him, calling him a racist, and he beat it. That there you go. You know somebody's on the right track when that shit starts happening, because they have nothing else. They have to call us racists. That's what they have to do. That's how they scare people off. It's ridiculous. What else are we doing? What else are we talking about? Okay, that's enough. So also, there's a bunch of exclusive content from the Epstein interview that will be on Patreon probably the day after we release the episode on Thursday. I like to give everybody a little time to consume the episode before we throw out the Patreon content. Also, there's two different behind the scenes footage from the Eli Crane episode. One was his time as a sniper with Chris Kyle in where was that? Solder City. So that was pretty cool. And then he gives us kind of his opinion, and we talk about the 50 caliber Desert Eagle. So that's on there. And dude, there's like a whole bunch of behind the scenes footage on Patreon. You guys should go on there, check it out. I think you have to be tier 2 to access a lot of that. And like I said, Don Bradley's going to be on Zoom tomorrow with that. So what else are we talking about? So we have a couple interviews that are already in the can. One, how many of you guys, I want to see, there's a mushroom right there. How many of you guys watched the Psychedelics episode, my psychedelic experience, where my wife interviewed me? Go ahead and throw it in the chat box there. Let me know. And while I'm waiting to see the comments in the chat box, do you guys mind hitting that like button, please? There's 868 of you watching this, and there's only 408 likes. And when you hit the like button, it helps me with the algorithm. So please hit the like button. It helps me out. I really, really appreciate it. But cool. You guys all saw it. So I already interviewed. This is already edited and in the can. I'm just spacing out content because, like I've been telling you guys for about the past 6 or 7 months, I'm broadening I'm broadening the content here at the Shawn Ryan Show. And so, anyways, I interviewed the guy. His name's Trevor, and Treller Mylar, and he's the guy that put me through the. He was the guy that actually gave me the psychedelics. I call him a psychedelic healer. He's a little uncomfortable with that because he says it's not him healing anybody. He just shows them, gives them the medicine. But I think I call him a healer. So, anyways, phenomenal episode. It's already in the can. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Let me read that. Man, thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. I am, it's been 3 months now. I haven't had a drink, by the way. So that's cool. And my wife just went 13 years. How about that? My wife, Katie, just went 13 years. She has 13 years of sobriety. So that's awesome. But, so head over to her Instagram and tell her congratulations. That was May 6th. Day after Cinco de Mayo, she got sober. But she's probably on here, hopefully. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Treller Mylar, the psychedelic healer, or what he says, ibogaine provider. The guy that gave me the ibogaine and the 5-MeO DMT psychedelics. I interviewed him. I think that's like a 2 or 3 hour interview, and that will probably release at the end of June or in July. And so, if you guys want to, we've had a ton of messages. If you guys want to know how to get in touch with him, I'm going to post his Instagram. He's asked me not to post anything else. That way he can kind of keep control of his inbox and everything. So I will post his Instagram as we get closer. Oh, and guess what? There's also there's like an hour and 15-minute episode of Trevor on Patreon. So if you guys, we asked the patrons, hey, if you got any questions, and they had a ton of questions. Thank you guys. They were great questions. And we answered all of them. So somebody's trying to get in here. But hey, congratulations, Aaron. That's awesome. I love being sober, dude. It's talking about having a clear head. It's awesome. But yeah, so that's coming. And what else do we got? So I also just interviewed, you guys have been waiting for this one for a long time. I just interviewed Rob O'Neill. Rob O'Neill is the SEAL that shot bin Laden in the face 3 times, 2 times, or 3 times. I can't remember. But anyways, whatever. He's the guy that was the trigger puller, killed bin Laden. And so I know he's been on a lot of different podcasts, but I think I got a lot more out of him than anybody else ever has. And we go through his entire career, and it's a phenomenal interview. It's a little bit different style than the normal, but we talk about his childhood. As always, we talk about his time in the SEAL teams. We talk about his green team a little bit, which is the training pipeline to get over into development group or SEAL Team 6. And we talk about his time over there. We talk about, he was on the recovery app for Marcus Luttrell, Lone Survivor. For those of you guys that don't know who Marcus Luttrell is, that's the Lone Survivor movie, that story. He was on the recovery app, so we talk about that. We talk about his involvement with the Captain Phillips. You guys remember the Maersk, Alabama, where the SEALs went in and killed those pirates and rescued Captain Phillips. He was involved with that. We talk about that whole story, which actually is pretty funny. And talk about his time in Iraq. And then, of course, we talk about the lead up and the bin Laden raid, where he was when he pulled the trigger, how he felt, how they took the body. We talk about why they dumped the body in the ocean. There's a lot of skepticism about, the bin Laden, why they didn't bring the body back. And so we talk about that, why he thinks they dumped it in the ocean. And I don't want to give too much away, otherwise you guys won't watch it. And believe it or not, also we have a ton of behind the scenes footage going to be on Patreon, but we also have a bunch of side conversations in between his deployments as a SEAL, where we talk about we talk about some really good shit that I wasn't planning on going into. One of them being, before I say this, I need everybody to hit the like button. There's 893 people watching right now, and there's only 766 likes. Please hit the like button, guys. It's not that hard. Just hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. But so some of the side conversations that me and Rob have, which I thought were very interesting, is one, we talk about if we should have been in Iraq. And I think both of our opinions kind of changed a little bit after we both served there, and we were both doing exactly what we wanted to do at the time. Now that we're out of that, a little bit older and moving on in life, looking back, and we have some different feelings about that. And so we talk about, should we have been in Iraq? Why were we in Iraq? And I thought that was a very, very interesting discussion that I had with him. We also talked a lot about our enemies, Taliban, Al Qaeda, all the different terrorist organizations, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but we basically talk about, and we don't know the percentage, but there's a very small percentage of people in the world who will actually stand up and fight for what they believe in. And, me and Rob and a lot of the other guys that have been on the show are like, we're the 1% that stands up for what we believe in and goes and fights for it. And we talk about how, on the other side of the world, those guys, the guys that we were fighting, the guys that were killing us, we're killing them. We talk about they're the 1% in that part of the world that stands up and fights for what they believe in. And we had kind of off the cuff discussion on what it would have been like if we were to hang out with them. Would we have gotten along if we actually agreed on things? And I just found that to be a very interesting discussion that I was not planning on having. And I don't want to give you the verdict because it's in the episode, but it was just a really good discussion, talking about, hey, the majority of Americans don't even stand. I mean, we just watched 2020. Everybody just bent over and spread their cheeks and did whatever the government said. Not everybody, but a lot of people did, without question. And I find that fucking disgusting and weak. And with that being said, I think a lot of the guys that actually stand up for what they believe in and fight, I think I have a lot more in common with them than I do a lot of the people here in this country. And which is weird to say, but it is the truth. So, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you got your gummy bears. We're restocking those. And I don't know when we're going to do that. I don't know when we're going to release that, but anyways, that's off topic. But hey, thank you for purchasing the gummy bears. I really appreciate the support. And there's more of those, plenty more of those coming. So yeah, I thought there was just some really good discussions that Rob and I had, and I think probably a lot of guys that were over there fighting had fought, maybe were recently over there fighting. When it's over, you kind of start thinking about things like that, and I have not had that discussion with anybody on camera ever, and so I just thought that was a really good topic to discuss. And then we have like, I think 3 or 4 different little side conversations that are totally unrelated to his career, and they just went. It was a really good interview, different style, but very good interview. So what else? Then later this week, I have Nick Lavery coming on the show. It won't be releasing this week, but I'm interviewing him this week. If you have any, so Nick Lavery is an active Green Beret still. We were co-located at the same base back when I was in the agency. And hold on, let me read this super chat. Dude, you just got to hand it to China, man. They're doing they are playing their cards very well, and they're able to do that because people in this country and actually across the world are not paying fucking attention to what they're doing. And we have people that still fucking think that the mainstream media is putting out solid information and they were reporting everything. They are not reporting a lot of things that are happening. And you know who it is? Well, whatever. It doesn't even matter. But people need to realize that they need to dig deeper before our country is fucking gone. And unfortunately, they probably aren't going to because they're that fucking stupid. But anyways, whatever. You guys are getting me fired up. But what the hell was I talking about? Nick Lavery. Nick Lavery, active Green Beret. We're co-located at CIA base in another country many, many years ago. He's still active. He's a warrant officer now, active Green Beret. He is a amputee, lost his leg. And so he's coming here on Thursday and actually Friday, I believe, and I'll be getting an interview with him. Super interesting guy. He just wrote a new book and just released. Check that out. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but you can go on Amazon, type in Nick Lavery. Thank you guys for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I would love to be on Joe Rogan. Probably not going to happen, but we put in for it. We'll see what happens. And we actually made comms. So anyways, Nick Lavery's coming. I'm really excited about that interview. And it's just going to be a really good interview. So that will probably release in June. And then, man, we got some solid interviews coming, guys. We have some solid interviews coming. And then the next week, I almost don't want to tell you guys this because I don't want to jinx it, but supposedly it's going to happen. So, Eric Prince. How many of you know who Eric Prince is? If you know who Eric Prince is, leave a comment in the comment box up here real quick. I'm going to tell you anyways, but I'm just trying to get engagement. Also, thank you for the likes while we're waiting for the chat box to light up with if you know who Eric Prince is. Thank you for hitting the like button. We got 1,000 likes and we have 995 watching. So that is awesome. So if you're new in here, please hit the like button. But so Eric Prince was a former SEAL. I believe he's a billionaire, and phenomenal backstory. Very interesting. Not like anybody else that's been on this show. He founded Blackwater as a small training center, and then it became the biggest private contracting, biggest private military contractor company in the world. I believe he had more special operations operators working under Blackwater when it was in its prime than the U.S. government had active special operations operators. That is no easy task, people. But and he had so much more than that too. He had all kinds of contracts, and I mean everything from military little birds, airplanes, armored vehicles, producing all kinds of stuff, training everybody, Coast Guard, SEALs, Green Beret, everybody was training there, and just turned it into this huge corporation. They did, I mean, the war without Blackwater, those wars, both Afghanistan and Iraq, would have had a completely different outcome than it did. And a lot of that is due to Eric Prince and his company Blackwater. So he's coming on the show next week. Normally I don't tell who's coming on the show outside of Patreon because people fucking steal my guest and they try to get them before I interview them because they know when they come on here, the ante gets raised. So they try to ride the coattail, and I don't like that. I like exclusivity. So if you guys have any questions for Prince, leave them in the jump over to Patreon and leave them over there, because those are the only questions I take are from the patrons. Those are my top supporters. So if you want to join, it's linked below, and chances are we'll probably have exclusive content for Patreon with him. So once again, for those of you guys that are just now showing up, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. At the beginning of this, I asked, please sign up for the email newsletter, the Vigilance Elite newsletter. We're having problems reaching the audience. I can't help it. We ask you guys to hit the bell. You hit the bell. We ask you guys to turn notifications on to all. You turn notifications on to all. I can see how many people are doing it. There's thousands and thousands of people doing it, and we still are getting emails saying you guys aren't getting notified. So here's the deal. We don't spam you with the newsletter. There's a link below to sign up for the newsletter. All you do is type your email in. You're not going to get an email a day or anything. Right now, our emails are twice a month, because that's how many episodes we release. All we're doing is notifying you, hey, YouTube isn't going to notify you guys that that there's an episode that's been released, so we'll fucking notify you that there's been an episode released. And if we ever get kicked off of here, which I'm sure is only a matter of time, is more and more conservatives get canceled, then guess what? You'll know where we go. And I'll tell you where we're going to go. We're going to go to vigilanceelite.com, and that's the only place you're going to find our content. And if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you will not know. So with that being said, subscribe to the newsletter. I know it sucks putting your emails in there, but like I said, I'm not going to spam you. I'm just going to let you know that the episodes, and when you do sign up, I still have to film this, but we're going to be filming gated content. Adam Banks, who's on here, he's a moderator, is the one that told me that gated content. That's a thing. So the gated content is going to be probably an EDC pocket dump, 5 accessories that every man should have. 95% of our audience is men, so that's for you boys, you men. And then another thing that I just thought of that I would like to do, and these will come in waves, all right? It's not going to be a ton of content. I'm not going to bullshit you and say there's like a whole library. There's a whole library on Patreon. But maybe every couple months, we'll release a video to the people only for email subscribers. And another one that I want to do is how to stay safe, how to protect yourself when you're traveling overseas, things to look out for, things you can do before you get there, and to kind of up your chances of being safe, and things that you want to do. And yes, I am on Rumble. We have a couple of pieces of content over there. Some of them got views. Most of them don't, because I don't know why. I mean, Rumble's great. We can do whatever we want over there, but I don't know. My videos don't get pushed on Rumble, or maybe they just fucking suck. I don't know. But we are on Rumble. So hit the link below. Throw your email in there. Like I said, we're not going to spam you. It's just to update you when we have a piece of content coming. So lastly, there's some new stuff that I want to kind of tell you guys about that I want to get into. And so I'm talking with Luis Chaparro. Those of you guys that don't know who Luis is, that's the guy that was on, I've interviewed him 2 different times on the show. And he gives phenomenal information. He embeds with these cartels down in Mexico, gives us phenomenal information. The last episode that he was on was inside the Sinaloa cartel, which is at like just above 500,000 views right now. That one really took off. The information that he's given us is phenomenal. Me and him are talking about maybe doing a bi-weekly segment on the on what's going on down at the border. He's always going down to the border and going into Mexico. And so we're thinking about doing a bi-weekly segment with Luis Chaparro on the border and what's going on down there. So if you guys don't mind, please, in the chat box, let me know if you would like to see that segment. There's part of me that thinks, yes, without a doubt, we should be getting bi-weekly updates on the border. On the other hand, I don't want to pound that topic into oblivion and bore the shit out of you guys with it if that's not what you want to hear. So please give me a thumbs up. Say, hell yeah, I want to hear the border stuff bi-weekly. Or say, Bi-weekly is a little too much. Maybe we do it once a month, or maybe you don't want to hear it at all and we just make it episodes. So yeah, Luis is total badass, dude. Yeah, the guy's got some serious fucking huevos, but to do what he does, unarmed. But so that's one thing that's coming. My wife Katie and I are about ready to fire up the not just it's not just us series again. We've been super swamped with our 8-year-old son. Been doing some traveling, and we've been, dude, we have been cranking episodes out, and they are all phenomenal. So that one kind of fell off the map a little bit just because we want some downtime. We're just, managing this and our Patreon content and everything behind the business, gummy bears, all that kind of stuff takes a lot of time. So we took some time off from doing that, but we're getting ready to fire it up again. And I'm hoping that the next one that we talk about is sobriety. So if you guys like that segment, leave us a comment in the chat box. Just kidding. You don't have to, but I do appreciate it because I do go back after this and read all these. But let us know. And then actually don't leave a comment in the chat box. I've already done that on another one because I need you guys to leave another comment in the chat box for the next thing that I'm going to tell you. So you guys have heard me bitch, moan, whine, complain, throw temper tantrums about mainstream media, how they're not putting real news out, right? You guys have heard me. I've been whining about that and bitching about it nonstop for years. And so finally, I'm trying to do something about it. So I've been talking with a few different people. I'm not going to mention any names yet because it's not for sure yet. And I won't mention the name until it actually happens. But we just had a meeting last week. Was that last week? Yeah, it was last week. And I'm trying to get a co-host and do a segment where we talk about everything that happened in the news the week prior. So we probably make this like a Friday segment. And I got to be honest, I don't have time to talk about to keep an eye on the media 100% and keep an eye on everything that's going around in the world 100% of the time. So some of the stuff I'm completely oblivious to, and I'm sure most of you, well, maybe not most of you, but I'm sure a lot of you, especially business owners who are running your own business, you don't have time to watch the bullshit news. And what kind of bullshit are they going to put out this week and try to fire us up and divide the country with, right? And what aren't they going to talk about? So the whole goal of this is a weekly segment that we do every Friday or Saturday, maybe. And basically, it's just me and a co-host talking about, hey, this is what happened in the news. Viking Tractor, what's going on, buddy? You guys got to go follow the Viking Tractor's YouTube channel. This guy's the shit. And he's a good friend of mine and lives close by. So we just need him to move a little closer. That way, when the end of the world happens, we're right next to each other. But anyways, so the whole point of this is Sample Road. You live in Pompano? But thank you for the super chat, by the way. I really appreciate that. So the whole point of this is just a quick data dump. I'm hoping 30 minutes or less, where it's just, hey, this is what happened in the U.S. This is what happened in the world. This is what the media is covering. This is what the media is not covering. This is what the left thinks about it. This is what the right thinks about it. Maybe I'll throw my opinion out there. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It depends. But the whole point is not to shove my opinion on your face and try to make you think how I think. The point of this is just to inform you this is what's happening in the world. This is the shit that the media isn't covering. This is what Fox News isn't covering. This is what ABC isn't covering. This is what CNN isn't covering. This is what they are covering, but this is what they left out. And there's I've been whining about the media forever, and so I'm trying to do something about it. And on top of educating you, it's educating myself as well. And everybody needs to be informed. If you're that person that is still watching one news channel and one news channel only, or if you're only watching one side, meaning left-wing news or right-wing news, you are missing a lot of shit that's going on in the world. I'm going to repeat that. If you're only watching one side of the news, you are missing a lot of shit that's going on in the world, and you need to wake the fuck up and do some research before this world is completely fucking changed. Okay? Not only our country, the entire world. So, are you talking about the false flag alien invasion? Is that what you're talking about? So, but so that segment, I'm hoping we get that spun up here within the next couple weeks. I think I have found a possible co-host, and I'm really hoping this works out. We're having a meeting in a couple of weeks, actually, in about 2 weeks. We're having a meeting, a little bit less, and we had our first meeting. Now we're kind of mulling everything over, seeing how everything's gonna shake out. This female has her own YouTube channel, and very, very smart woman, well educated, and very spun up on the news and the media and what's going on in the world. So we're really hoping we can put this thing together and get you guys here. That way you don't have to watch any of the bullshit media. You can just watch the Vigilance Elite channel and get your news right here. Because I know watching a 4-hour episode on the cartels is, you got to break it up into segments. I totally get that. So the point of this is to do a quick down and dirty every single week on what happened, and to keep everybody informed. So now I'm going to ask, now that I've explained that new segment, I'd like you guys to leave a comment in the chat box. And I want to know what you think about that. Should we do it every week? Should we do it bi-weekly? Should we do it every month? What are your thoughts on that segment? I really am very curious. I'll look up that person. I don't know who CanCon is, but I will, when I go back through this, I'll look it up and see who that is. But I'm hoping I got the co-host, and I'm really hoping I have the co-host. So, and she has her own podcast. She co-hosts with somebody else, and just very, very intelligent, well-spoken, well-read, up to speed woman. You guys weekly, every week. Damn, you guys like that idea. I like seeing that. That's awesome. Cool. We'll do it. While everybody's typing in the chat box, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, that would be awesome. And it's getting to be my son's bedtime, so I'm going to go here pretty soon. But, because I want to say goodnight to him. Oh, shit. I forgot one thing. I can't believe I forgot this. Let me grab a drink here real quick. But I forgot one thing. I just got back from Dallas, Texas last night. How many of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you know who Mike Ritland is? He was on the Shawn Ryan show. I think he was episode 5. He's the only guy that we did 2 episodes back-to-back with. A friend of mine, K9 guy, has his own podcast, The Mic Drop. How many of you guys know Mike Ritland? Well, just got back from Dallas, Texas last night. Went down there. Mike interviewed me. I don't know how long it is. I lost track of time, but man, we talk about all kinds of shit. And, I don't go on very many. I do not go on very many podcasts. And I'm just going to be honest. I don't do it because most of the time the interviewer doesn't do any research, and it's just a bullshit interview, and it's a complete fucking waste of my time. I can't stand it when I give somebody my time and they fucking blow it off and they don't give me an interview. So I just don't do them anymore because it's bullshit. But Mike Ritland is a phenomenal interviewer. I learned a lot of my interviewing skills by watching how Mike interviews. He's one of the only guys in the space that keeps his own bullshit out of the interview, and which is actually where I learned to be a good listener. Him and my doctor, my therapist, and so I went to Mike Ritlands' new studio down there. We had a phenomenal conversation. He gave me one of the probably the best interview I've ever had, and actually the best interview I've ever had. And the second best one was also the last the last time I was on the mic drop. And I don't want to say the other interview that's worth watching is on Team Never Quit. But anyways, me and Mike talk about all kinds of shit. It was a phenomenal interview. We go into some political stuff. We go into the Gallagher case. We talk about everything. We talk about my time down in Colombia where I set up an entire cocaine network and how I beat my cocaine addiction, and which actually I could tell blew him away too. And I've been waiting for somebody to kind of bring that out of me, and Mike Ritland was the perfect guy to bring it out. And he's, like I said, guys, if you guys aren't following the mic drop, I should have linked that below too, but you can just Google mic drop, and dude, Mike gives a hell of a good interview, and I think it's a very underrated podcast. You guys should all be listening to it. Mike is a solid human being. He does a lot of good things. He has an awesome podcast, and I hope you guys jump over there and listen to that. I think that'll be coming out within the next few weeks, and I'm also going to he's going to give me the final product, and then me and my team are going to cut a trailer and put it up here, bringing everybody to let everybody know, hey, I was on the mic drop. Why don't you guys go over there and check it out? So I cannot fucking wait for you guys to watch that interview. I really want you guys to see that interview. I think it's just Mike's just good people, man. He's good people to be around, and I wish he lived closer because we could do a lot of cool shit together. But whatever, I'll take what I can get, and he's awesome. What is that? Talk, no action. What do you mean by that? Yeah. Thank you, Keith. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But what else? So yeah, go over to Mic Drop, follow that podcast. It's coming out shortly, probably within the next few weeks, and I can't wait till you guys see it. I can't wait to see what you think of that interview. And yeah, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to start wrapping this up, but in the meantime, I'll take 5 or 10 minutes of questions. So if you guys have questions, yes, it's the dog trainer, Mike Ritland, former Navy SEAL and now dog trainer. Yes, I'm trying to get Dave Rutherford on the show whenever he's ready. He's got a slot. Dave's one of my best friends, and I can't wait to get him on here. So anyways, start asking questions. I'm going to take about 5 to 10 minutes of questions, depending on if I get any good ones or not. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the questions to show up, I'm going to say it. I said it probably 3 or 4 times. Guys, please go down to the email newsletter, sign up. There's gated content behind it. It's just to inform you when new episodes are here. That way, because you guys aren't getting notified. And I can tell by the view counts. And I know my shit doesn't suck, so that's not why I'm not getting views. But what do we got? Gummies, when? Gummies will probably be back probably in about a month is when they'll be back. We're waiting on the next shipment to come in, and when it gets here, we'll release it. And like I said, if you guys want to be notified, the way to get notified is be on that emailing list or on Patreon. Patreon always gets the first dibs on that stuff. Shit, man, you guys are asking a lot of questions. Glock or Sig? Glock, all the way. I carry a P365. That's what I carry. If Glock had something that gave it a run for its money, I would pick Glock. If I could pick any pistol at all, one pistol for everything, it would be a Glock 19. Dude, man, this is getting hard to read. I need to get a right hand man over here so I can fucking read this stuff. What was the moment in your life that helped you decide to join the SEALs? I wasn't good at anything else. So that's kind of the only option that I had, was going to the military. And I wanted to be the best. I didn't want to let my dad down because I was kind of a fuck up in high school. I was going to fail out of school, college. Thank God I didn't go there. That would have been a complete fucking waste of time and just created a bunch of debt for me. So I went into the SEAL teams, or I went to Buds. I didn't quit. And the only reason I didn't quit is because I didn't want to let my dad down. What else do we got? Keep typing your questions, guys. I can't read them. I can't keep up with this. If I checked out the Army's new toys, no, I have not checked out the Army's new toys. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pull a chair up, grab my computer so I can read some of these. All right. Can you guys see me? Here we go. Damn. You can't see me here, can you? All right. What do we got? HK or Glock? Glock. If I had to pick any pistol, all right, any pistol at all, I've said this like a million times. If I had to pick any pistol at all, any brand, out of everything that's out there, it would be Glock. It always has been Glock. It always will be Glock. I think the P365 is a great carry gun. That's actually what I carry. But if it was the end of the world, I had to pick one pistol, it would be a Glock 19. They're just the most reliable. Joe Rogan, we've made contact. I don't know. It's not looking likely. Rob O'Neill will be coming out at the end of June or the beginning of July. I'm not sure which one yet. I'm going to stand. Trump or DeSantis? I'm not going to lie. I really, really like DeSantis. Did I watch 2,000 Mules? I am probably not going to watch No, I have not watched 2,000 Mules. I'm probably not going to watch 2,000 Mules, and here's why. Because it's just going to put me in a bad mood, and I already know. 2,000 Mules is for people that are still in denial, and I would love to support that, Dinesh D'Souza, but I'm not going to watch it because I already know. I don't need to piss myself off by watching it. Do I ever make it to Chicago? It's going to be highly unlikely. It's too dangerous there. Why should you join Patreon? I don't know, probably because there's a couple hundred videos of behind the scenes tactics, shooting, all kinds of cool shit over there. Plus, we do lives and we do live Zoom calls. We do live chats. Luis Chaparro graced us with his presence a few weeks ago, and the patrons all got one-on-one time with Luis Chaparro to ask him whatever they wanted about the cartels. And we're doing that again on Thursday, I believe, with Don Bradley. Bernie or Biden? Dude, at this point, I'm not going to lie, I would take anybody over Biden. This is a disaster. Every aspect, anything that guy touches goes to shit. You know, I mean, that should not come as a surprise, because when you elect somebody that can't put a fucking sentence together, this is what happens. More Iraq stories. Do I roll? No, I don't. Oh, Jason Redman, I saw something on there. He's coming. UAPs. Here's something. How many of you guys think that the congressional hearing today on UFOs was a distraction because they're pushing something else? I do. I think it was bullshit. I do think there are UAPs, and we're trying to get an alien UFO guy on the show. But for some reason, and we've made contact with a bunch of them, but for some reason, nobody actually wants to come on. They keep pushing. I think they're worried that I'm going to grill them, and they're gonna and everybody's gonna think they're full of shit or something. So they don't want to they don't want to come on. But we'll find one. We'll find one. Um, is Ukraine going nuclear? I have no idea. Who's your favorite Street Fighter character? Ken. Ken, or what's that other dude's name? Ryu. What else do we got? Hold on. Do I believe in aliens? Hell yeah, dude. um, Favorite writer? I'm not much of a reader, so I guess I don't really have one. Hunter S. Thompson. There it is. That's my favorite writer. Bob Lazar. Dude, if you guys have a contact for Bob Lazar, send it in through the website. If you have a recommendation for anybody, send it in through the website. Okay? And we read everything. Don't leave it in comments. You can leave it in comments, but if you really want your suggestion to be read, then send it in. Yes, we're trying to get Bob Lazar. So if you know how to get a hold of him, please let us know because we're trying. Uh, Favorite piece of music. I love music. I love all different kinds of music. Right now, off the top of my head, I'm hooked on Winona Judd and Waylon Jennings. I like old school country. Does 556 suck? Well, it does do the job, but there are better rounds. Um, what else? Peter Schweitzer red-handed. Well, I don't know why that's a question. I interviewed Peter Schweitzer, and we've actually stayed in contact. I just went down to Florida a few weeks ago to celebrate the 10th anniversary at the Government Accountability Institute. And dude, his team down there is amazing. General Flynn, I would love to get General Flynn. We had him there for a little bit, and kind of fell off the map. So I don't know if we'll get him. Trevor, Cody, Trevor, are you talking about Trevor Mylar, the psychedelic healer? Because I already interviewed him, and that is actually in editing right now. Actually, it's mostly done editing. Some of these names I don't know. More Ed Calderon. Ed Calderon is always welcome on this show. He is always welcome on this show. It's an open invite with Ed. And if I was a bet man, I would bet you'll see him on here again. Actually, we did a whole content piece in Mexico, and there's a ton of unedited content that I need to release from that trip. And if you're tired of waiting on me to edit it, you can see the raw footage on Patreon. There's a bunch of it. There's stuff in the red light district. There's stuff in the most dangerous neighborhood in Tijuana. There's the border where we walk the wall and talk about how everybody's getting over the border. All that's on Patreon right now. I haven't been edited. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I don't know if we'll get. Is Slade still involved with GBRS? I thought he started his own thing. Alpaca update. You're going to be mad about this. The alpacas are gone. So uh, we that's actually what I'm having for dinner. We had them processed and they're all in the freezer now. Just kidding. We didn't process them. But They are gone. They found a new home. Headshot Don update. If you want a Headshot Don update, you need to go to Patreon because Headshot Don is going to do a live Zoom chat with us here in the studio, and you'll be able to ask him anything you want within reason. But that's going to be on Patreon only. Why are questions being deleted? I don't know, probably because my right-hand man for this, Adam Banks, is probably deleting bullshit questions that you shouldn't be asking. I'm guessing that's why questions are being deleted. Pulled pork or brisket? Pulled pork. How long have I been clean? I haven't had a drop of alcohol in 3 months now. Yes, I do EDC a knife. Here it is. Right there. I carry a Strider. Welp. Thanks for deleting the bullshit, Adam. I appreciate it. I hate bullshit comments. They piss me off. So now we have somebody to delete them. All right, I can't keep up. So that's it with the questions, guys. But hey, here's the deal. Go to Patreon. There's a ton of content over there. Sign up for that newsletter. If you sign up for the newsletter, you're going to wind up getting exclusive content at some point, and you won't have to worry about YouTube notifying you when we have a new episode. You'll get an email, and you'll know there's a new episode. That's literally the only thing we email is when gummy bears are in stock and when a new Shawn Ryan show is up on YouTube. That's it. That's all we email. We don't email bullshit. We don't email crap. I will show you one other product that we're going to have made since it's in my field of view here. I think this is really cool. So let me know if you guys can see this. We're making these everyday carry dump trays. This is made out of black walnut. And the one that we're going to be using has actually a Vigilance Elite logo, a V logo right here. You guys can't see shit with that. There you go. Let me back up here so you can, that just looks like a big, there. So this is made out of black walnut, handmade by Alan Cooper. He was on the Shawn Ryan show, Green Beret, CIA, and Reconnaissance Marine. And so he's making these. This, like I said, this is black walnut. It's got rubber grommets on the bottom, made in the USA by Green Beret, CIA, and Marine Recon guy. Did all three. And he was on the Shawn Ryan show. So we're starting off with 50 of these things. And we're starting off with 50 of these things. And we're releasing them to Patreon first. And right now there are 136 people on Patreon that want one. So it probably will never see the public. So you have to be a patron to get one. If they go well, then we'll release them here. Will the flannels come back? I guess never say never, but not anytime soon, brother. But we are working with an apparel company. We're in negotiations of getting that back up. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So we got to look at some pricing and see how we think. But I hope it goes back up. So if it goes back up, then we'll look at doing flannels. Cost is going to be about $150 for that. It's not like the little EDC trays that are made out of plastic or Kydex that slide all over the place. That thing probably weighs 2 or 3 pounds, and it's handmade. So it's expensive. It's like the Rolex of EDC dump trays. But anyways, guys, hey, guys, I got a jet. My son's going to be going to bed here any minute. I just want to say I love you all. Thank you for the support. If you can't afford Patreon, I get it. I don't care. I'm just happy that you're here. Times are tough right now because Joe Biden's fucking us all over, and he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. So anyways, I get it. You know, it's tough times. Gas is going to hit $5 a gallon here soon. That just came out. Inflation's going through the roof, and times are tough. I get it. I understand. I'm a small business owner, and I'm getting fucking crushed by all this shit too. I am getting I'm not even going to say that word. I'm getting crushed by this economy, and it's fucking sad that this is, it sucks. But hopefully we will see better times in a few years, right? But anyways, what I was saying is, hey, thank you guys for being here. Even if you're watching the show, you're supporting, and I thank you all for that. I really appreciate it. Share the show, let everybody know what's going on. I hope all these new segments that I'm talking about come through with Luis and the female that I'm hoping to have on here to do the news dump every week. That will be awesome. We're really trying to grow this channel. We're broadening. Those of you that have been here forever, you've seen a lot of change with this channel. We're going to always develop the channel and keep up with the modern times and grow into new things. I'm not going to sit here and do fucking gun review after gun review after gun review and talk about the same bullshit. I get tired of that shit. It's boring. I don't even fucking care. It's a tool. It's a gun. You use it to protect yourself, and that's it. And so we've kind of grown out of that, and we're on to, I'm not going to say bigger and better things. That's just not my cup of tea anymore. I'm more into informing the audience, you all, of what's going on in the country and bringing you stories that have never been told before. And I think that's a lot more important than the old stuff that I used to do. So anyways, I keep getting sidetracked. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. Sign up for that email newsletter. And if you can, go over to Patreon, support me over there. And the next episode coming with Alex Epstein is phenomenal. It's very informative. We are in a global energy war. Hopefully we pull out of it. And love you guys. I'm out. Cheers.